ginger turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay By Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosley Bus Stop, Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild, the power to heal, the future of pain relief.
Live streaming has become one of the best ways to connect the funeral of a loved one with friends and family, both local and international. NBC Television will live stream your funerals on television and Facebook at a reasonable rate. With our state-of-the-art equipment, you can be assured that the quality of your funeral will be to your satisfaction. Call our office now and book your obituary and streaming with us. 758-453-7458.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluffs. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Another wonderful Wednesday afternoon to you, everyone. It is the 24th day of the month of July 2024. This is The Real Issues with me, Shelton Daniel, your host and producer. Our program airs weekdays from 12:30 until 2 p.m. on Real FM Radio, 91.3 for the North, 91.5 South. We simulcast on NBC Television, Channel 120 on the Flow Cable TV service. We are on Facebook Live, and our programs are also live streamed on YouTube. I hope you're having a good day so far. I hope everything is working to your satisfaction, in safety, that you're achieving what you set out to do. Remember, always think safety, and remember that we are in the hurricane season. Many times I come here and you hear me seemingly belly aching about the heat, and even I ask myself sometimes, if I don't get accustomed, considering the climes in which I was born and which I know how it is, But did it surprise you to know that this Sunday just passed, was actually the hottest day on record since they have been keeping records of global temperatures? Sunday the 21st. You know, this Sunday just passed was actually the hottest day that they have ever recorded. Last year it was a record. Well, this year has already broken last year's record, and we still have some way to go. And you know, we're talking about heat wave conditions in so many countries. And I mean, we had heat wave conditions last year. It certainly looks like, you know, I got to read this for you. Maybe most of you, or at least many of you, would have heard of it. But on CNN, it came out. The planet just saw its hottest day on record, written by one Angela Fitz for CNN. And that was updated on yesterday, the 23rd of July, 2024. But it says Sunday was the hottest day in recorded history, according to preliminary data from a climate tracking agency monitoring temperatures since the mid-1990s. It's the second successive year average global temperatures have crashed through shocking climate records and will not be the last, as planet warming fossil fuel pollution drives temperatures to shocking new highs. July 21st clocked in at 17.09 degrees Celsius or 62.76 degrees Fahrenheit and was the hottest day on Earth since at least 1940, according to the preliminary data from the European Union's Copernicus Climate Change Service. And that's the average they're talking about. The global average temperatures typically peak during the Northern Hemisphere summer between late June and early August. Sunday's record came as many countries endure prolonged and brutal heat waves. Around 100 cities across the U.S. are experiencing their hottest starts to summer on record, and swathes of southern Europe have been grappling with triple-digit temperatures. Despite being based on data from the mid-20th century, the temperature records represent the warmest period the planet has seen in at least 100,000 years, scientists have found from many millennia of climate data extracted from ice cores and coral reefs. Global climate records are typically broken by tiny fractions of a degree, as was the case with this one. Sunday's temperature was just 0.01 degrees Celsius above 2023's record. What's jarring is the warmest global temperatures were significantly cooler by about 0.3 degrees before 2023. We are now truly in uncharted territory, and as the climate keeps warming, we are bound to see new records being broken in future months and years, said Carlo Buotempo, director of Copernicus. These recent records are truly staggering, Buotempo said. We are now in truly uncharted territory, and as the climate keeps warming, we are bound to see new records being broken in future months and years. Global temperatures fluctuate based on natural factors, seasons, large-scale climate patterns and solar activity, and on unnatural factors, the pollution from human activity, including the burning of fossil fuels, which is chiefly driving the planet's temperature steadily upward. Scientists pegged last year's record to the coincidence of El Nino, a natural climate pattern in the Pacific Ocean with a warming effect, and fossil fuel pollution, which is trapping heat in the Earth's atmosphere. This year's record comes as El Nino is disappearing and transitioning to its cool La Nina phase, underscoring the significant influence of the human-caused climate crisis. The sudden rise in global temperatures is linked to abnormal heat in large parts of Antarctica, according to the Copernicus analysis. The rapid warming of this vast icy continent is a trend that is alarming scientists, given the region's ability to drive catastrophic sea level rise. So, I mean, just this week, we've already recorded the highest average global temperature since records are being kept. We need to take notes. I know we're a very small country. There's nothing really we can do to move the needle. So many things are happening all the time to have us very concerned. I'm happy to note that the man who I reference as having been Jaquan, maybe I can, now that I know that he has survived, the short video clips that I spoke of yesterday, let me see if I can get this for you, and I'll send it to that. The gentleman who the car, he was said to be working underneath a vehicle, and the vehicle, the jack gave way or something like that, and slipped on him, fell on him. He apparently survived. That he was taken first to the, it happened in Ancillary from what I'm being told, and he was subsequently taken to the OKEU hospital. So I'm sending it to you, Jaquan. I don't know if you want me to forward it to NBC Real FM as well. All right, I've sent it to you, and maybe we can just, while we are talking, if you're able to get it and to play it so people can see. He looked motionless on the ground. This has to be a very bad injury to have a vehicle fall on you and so on, and I thought it was a dead person. So it has been confirmed that one, it is St. Lucia, and that he has survived. Let's hope he continues to do well, and that if he ever returns to that line of activity, that he will know the precautions that he has to take in that regard. I mean, you use a jack when it's something like a tire that you're changing, not when you have to put your whole body, under a car and so on. This is always something that is fraught with a lot of risk and so on. All right. I saw a news report. Was it last night or it's not too long, where they were talking about skeletal remains being found at VG Beach alongside the cemetery. Now, again, this has been spoken about. I remember some years ago being in St. Vincent for a conference, and Ralph Gonzalez referencing that climate change is not even allowing the dead to rest in peace, because a lot of our cemeteries are in near coastal areas, which is true for St. Lucia, and I think we saw it with the recent passage of Hurricane Beryl, that we saw the storm surge rushing in on the Soufrière Cemetery, I mean, another place where the cemetery is in a very flat area, many people say perhaps below sea level, is the Dennery Cemetery. And you have significant storm surge and flooding, and it's going to affect those areas. And so when you have a cemetery adjoining the ocean, and we've seen signs in many areas of the world, and even in St. Lucia, of encroachment, encroachment by the sea, by the ocean and so on, it's no surprise if it begins to unearth remains, human remains, skeletal remains and so on, and people are saying even the clothing that the dead people, were buried with and so on is showing up and all of that. And it has to be something that really grosses out and freaks out people and so on. I personally, if I have to go to bathe at VG Beach, or even to take some exercise and walk on the beach and jog and so on, and I know there's some possibility of me, bumping into a skull or something like that, I probably wouldn't go. At least not to that part and so on. Worst thing to go in the water and next thing, something is bumping against my leg, and I push my hand down to see what is it that's bumping against my leg, and then I retrieve what is clearly a human femur or skull or rib cage or something like that. It's enough to really freak you out and so on. I mean, not all of us have that kind of calmness and so on, and we associate the dead with just that, with the dead. It makes us, it gives us an uncomfortable reminder of our own mortality and so on, and generally, skeletal human remains and so on of out of cemetery and so on is not something we want to. After all, that's why we bury it. We put it out of sight and out of reach and so on, and then to find it is showing up again. So I hope it's something that some measures can be taken to prevent a recurrence of that. Clearly, we have to start thinking about relocating the cemetery, another spot for the cemetery and so on, because you see, everybody wants a tomb. Everybody wants to have, a tomb for family, for individuals, and the concrete structures cause cemeteries to rapidly run out of space. People are prepared to pay top dollar to have it and so on. And so more and more there is that pressure for space, burial space in cemeteries. The other problem we have is when we want to relocate a cemetery, everybody goes, not in my backyard. Yes, we need a cemetery, but no, not in Bexar. No, not in Cul-de-sac. No, we don't want it there. We don't want it there. And it's not just cemeteries. You talk about a prison. You talk about a mental hospital. There's always this kind of a taboo, this kind of whatever it is that people do not want certain facilities and institutions in or near where they live. And so everybody's going to mount a protest and picket and so on. We don't want the cemetery, but it's got to be somewhere. Nobody wants. I remember many years ago there was talk about establishing a prison In the Bexon area, I think it was, and there was all this, oh, no, this is going to be bad, this is going to be good, this is going to be this is going to be that, it's going to cause criminals to be around, and you hear these things over and over again. I haven't heard too much objection for hospital, ordinary hospital. Maybe I missed it. But once you're talking about psychiatric facility, mental hospital, once you're talking about cemetery, once you're talking about prison, people don't want it by their place. I don't know what's this about and so on. And come to think of it, those places, they offer a lot of opportunities for people who do vending, for people who do provisioning and so on. I don't know if we ever try, farmers and so on, people who grow things and so on, can go and negotiate with the authorities and say, look, I can supply you with this, I can supply you with that and so on. I mean, Bodily, I think, made quite a success of having a farm program that supplies a lot of, last I heard about it, that was supplying a lot of the produce that was consumed at the facility and so on. So we need to start to see opportunities in those things, etc., etc. The other thing too, when it comes to cemeteries, I believe this is being tried right now in Antigua, that they're building a new cemetery from where it is on Cross Street going to Friars Hill Road in the capital. It's not at the sea level, it's on a little elevation to speak fairly of it. But they're moving it to another place which is even much more spacious. It's wider. It's a place called Tomlinson's, where they're building a new cemetery there. And what the health minister, under whose portfolio it falls, Honorable Sir Malwin Joseph, has said, and this is something they've been doing a lot, and I hope in St. Lucia we give some thought to it, that we not only think of functionality of facilities, but we also think whether we can add aesthetics to the functionality without in any way taking away. So they're building this cemetery, and they're going to adopt a new burial method where they're going to have this, this polymer encasements and so on, so that you can have tombs that don't have concrete and so on, but you can have a polymer encasement that you can put in the coffins and the caskets and so on, so that if needs be that they have to be shifted or more can be added to them later on, it can be done. But more so, the plan that I saw, and I wish I had brought it with me, was for it to be a cemetery that is a place of rest, not only for the dead, but a place for peace and meditation and so on. If people want to go and lay flowers on the graves of their loved ones and so on, that they can have some quiet time, that they can have, it's essentially it's a cemetery that almost doubles as a park, that they can go and sit. If it's your Bible you want to go and read, if it's prayer, if it's meditation, if it's, a candle you want to light and so on, to make it a place that has little walkways between the rows of tombs and so on, that you can have this sense of quiet and peace and reflection in it, so that the cemetery will not be a place of foreboding, and the place that they have selected is away from flooding and so on. There was another thing that they did too, which was similar to the problem that we have with the George V Park, the flooding and all of that. They put in some flood mitigation measures, a pond, a retention pond that can take the water, accumulate that water and then release it slowly so that, it doesn't get overwhelmed at the point. And it's near a major commercial center called the Woods, the Wood Shopping Center, the Woods Mall and so on. And what they have said, I don't know if they've actually done it, was they gave design so that just because it is a pond where wastewater and effluent doesn't mean that you have to make it into a hideous kind of, a brackish, backed up, stagnant area and so on. So put some kind of overlays, concrete overlays on it, decorate it in a manner, put, flowers and groves of plants and so on, so people can come and they can sit there, that even if the functionality of it is for the management, of wastewater in the area, but that you can do it in a manner that the adjoining woods, they can have, little restaurants and eating places and so on, that are clean and so on, and so people can. And I think when we speak about that retention pond in the George V Park, I believe we need to begin thinking about those things. It doesn't have to be a drab, gray, cold, foreboding, concrete box and so on. That you can put it as a place where, whether it's a little bicycle ramp or something that the young men can come and do some acrobatics or whatever it is and so on, that we can give it that kind of aesthetic appeal and so on. So, I'm just saying, let us think along the lines of trying to marry functionality with aesthetics, with recreation, with something that can help people in terms of relaxation areas and recreational spaces and so on, that we don't run out of them and so on. Yeah. Okay. What else I had there? Yeah. Right. Okay. We've heard a lot about this IT outage that has caused so many problems in aviation and everywhere. Well, Microsoft is blaming the European Union for this, which is being dubbed the world's worst IT outage. All right, and I just want to read that for you. It's in Euronews.com. Microsoft says the European Union is to blame for the world's biggest IT outage on Friday following a faulty security update. A 2009 agreement insisted on by the European Commission meant that Microsoft could not make security changes that would have blocked the update from cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike that caused an estimated 8.5 million computers to fail, the big tech giant said in comments to the Wall Street Journal newspaper. Thousands of flights were delayed or cancelled, leaving passengers stranded at airports worldwide. The UK's NHS service, that's National Health Service, was affected, and contactless payments failed to work. The problem was triggered by a defective update for CrowdStrike's Falcon system, which was designed to prevent cyber attacks. It has privileged access to a key part of a computer known as the kernel. Microsoft has Windows Defender, its in-house alternative to CrowdStrike. But because of the 2009 agreement made to avoid a European competition investigation, had allowed multiple security providers to install software at the kernel level. The European Commission had been accusing Microsoft since the early 2000s of having an unfair advantage over other companies because of its popular Windows software. Microsoft's main competitor, Apple, in 2020 blocked access to the kernel on its Mac computers, arguing it would improve security and reliability. Speaking to the Wall Street Journal, a Microsoft spokesman said the company could not make a similar change because of the EU agreement. Up to 8.5 million Windows devices were affected by the outage, Microsoft confirmed, saying it was less than 1% of all machines using the software. However, it said there had been major impacts because CrowdStrike is widely used by businesses. CrowdStrike has said a significant number of the affected computers are back online and has apologized for what happened. Under its new Digital Markets Act, Europe is currently trying to force Apple to give access to its iPhone to allow alternative app stores and web browsers to be used. All right, it says Euronews next has contacted Microsoft for comment. And I do hope the world doesn't find itself caught in the crosshairs of this continuous crossfire between Europe and America, the competitive thing, and Europe believing that America and American enterprises and American mega companies and so on are a little too overbearing and so on, and that they have to find their own feet and their own identity. I believe a lot of the accidents that we've seen with Boeing 737 and all of that and so on, I think they have to do with the competition between Boeing and Airbus, and trying to push things into the market without sufficient research and testing and so on. And so maybe Boeing feeling a little threatened, feeling a bit of the market, too much of it is going to Airbus and so on. And maybe it is a case where now Europe believes that Microsoft is just a little bit too powerful, the version of Skynet kind of thing, in this how you call this, the Terminator movie franchise, and that Microsoft is becoming like a bit of a Skynet, turning out things to take over the world, and so they want to kind of temper and moderate them a little bit, and so insisting that other security providers be allowed to operate on the Microsoft Windows platform. And sometimes Microsoft may well turn out to be the best person to design security for its platform. They have the Windows Defender, which I have been using for many years. Before this latest IT outage and the crisis that it spawned, I didn't know about CrowdStrike. I'd never heard about them and so on. I go with my Windows platform and so on. People have told me I should try Mac and so on. Lately, People have been telling me that the Apple systems are good and so on. I tend to stick with what is familiar. I guess because of my age, I'm kind of not very agile in terms of embracing change or striking off in new directions and so on. But so much for that. We're going to go for a commercial break shortly, and then after we come back, I'll have the phone lines open for your calls. Let me just comment on the fact that there's another shooting over the last day or two. A man shot dead at Kako Babuno. We are told that he came to pick up his child at a preschool or daycare, whichever it was. And I mean, we've seen the pictures. I'm not going to show them video clips of a man slumped, in the near the driver's side, the open driver's side door of his vehicle. Whether he was trying to run and his slippers fell out, or he was just putting them on because he was maybe driving barefoot and about to put it. It seemed like a gunman or gunmen were waiting for him and discharged several shots at him. He was hit multiple times. I'm so happy to hear that no one else was hurt. It would have been really, really heartbreaking if the child that he came to pick up, that he had time, but apparently he didn't have time to go inside and get the child, and somebody else he was supposed to give a ride. His name is something Maximin. And I intended to ask a Maximin friend of mine whether this man is related to her, but I didn't get the time to. But apparently, although he was shot at Kako, he's from Fonsasso or Talvan, Babono area. And I did get a little word about this may have some relationship to a minibus driver who was shot in the Fonsasso area, some time ago in the night, where police came to attend to one thing, and then next thing they're hearing shots being discharged in another area. And, a minibus driver apparently still in his vehicle or just about getting out was fatally shot by unknown assailants at the time. The crime problem is worrying. 45 for the year so far. It has been worrying for many, many years. At times we have a little bit of hope where it seems like we may be turning a little corner. Things are getting a little better when we see times like Carnival pass and, we don't hear of anything of significance. Although during the Carnival there was that shooting at Badney. The young man whose name was called Warface or something like that. Some Cordell Amide, the name, called Warface and so on. Being shot over what we told was an altercation that didn't involve weapons. Slaps were exchanged and so on. Apparently people followed him and so on. What else can you say? I don't know if you can appeal to people whose hands who already have blood on their hands. I cannot believe that once you engage in bloodshed, once you get to killing, once you are a murderer, something inside you has changed. Something inside you changes. I'm not saying you're beyond redemption. I'm not saying you can't be rehabilitated. I'm not saying you can't be reformed. I'm not saying you can't repent and you cannot become, a different person. I'm not saying so. I am just saying it is my belief that just like predatory animals, the moment you see they have become man-eaters, usually the wildlife people and the rangers and so on, they put them down. Because they feel that once you have the taste of human blood in your mouth already, Mr. Lion, in the mouth, Mr. Crocodile, that there's a strong chance that you're going to do it again, because generally humans are not on the menu of those predatory animals. Usually they prefer the taste, it seems. It's just the same way in the sea, I'm told, that you often don't find, sharks don't normally hunt humans, and that's not their favorite thing. They like high blubber or whatever, the National Geographic people tell us that. But of course, in a moment of hunger and opportunism and whatever, they'll take what comes, they'll kill as catch can, and they'll put down predatory animals once they are known to have become man-eaters. And it's the same way. Once you see someone has crossed that line, gone over that Rubicon and taken a human life, to me that person is not normal anymore. And I keep on thinking the same thing. I walk around and I look at young men and whatever things that they do, and I, like you heard me talk about the traffic quite a lot. And I ask myself, you might want to talk to this guy and say, man, why are you doing this? But how do you know you're not talking to a killer? How do you know you're not talking to someone, whose mind has already crossed the psychological threshold into bloodshed and whatever you may say, but this individual has already been broken in as we talk about it. This individual has already been blooded into the act of killing. and you could at any moment be looking into the eyes of a killer. It's not a very comforting thought, but it is the reality. The Real Issues will begin taking your calls as soon as we come back from this commercial break.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real Issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway. Call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosile Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosile.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
Live streaming has become one of the best ways to connect the funeral of a loved one with friends and family, both local and international. NBC Television will live stream your funerals on television and Facebook at a reasonable rate. With our state-of-the-art equipment, you can be assured that the quality of your funeral will be to your satisfaction. Call our office now and book your obituary and streaming with us. 758 453 7458.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
487-9849 and 4533911, the numbers that you can dial, the mobile number, you can WhatsApp call us on it, and I think we have a call already. Hi, good afternoon, the real issues. Oops. Looks like the person couldn't wait. Yes, the telephone line's already open for your calls. The mobile number 487-9849, you can WhatsApp call us on that one, and you can also reach us on the landline 4533-911. Are we getting a call? All right. Hi, caller. Good afternoon. Real issues.
Shelton, nice choice of shirt, man.
Hello?
Nice choice of shirt.
Really?
It seems to blend quite nicely with the graphic behind your, behind you, man.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, every day I'll go home with that and wash it so I can have it ready for the next day.
Everton blender, man. Today, blending.
What's up? What's in your mind today?
Yeah, I have three portions of contribution. The first one is on a sad note. There is a young man that is being referred to as Speedy because of the fastness of his movements, man. That guy would walk very fast. So when I used to be selling my phone cards in song, I add the Gonzalez to it, Speedy Gonzalez. And I think he fell sick recently, and news have been circulating that he's passed. Speedy,
Okay.
So I want to express my condolences to the family of Speedy, and I pray that the Lord strengthen them during those difficult moments. The second contribution I want to give Shelton.
About how old was Speedy?
He appears to be maybe in his late 30s, in my view. But he was a real nice, friendly guy. The man make it clear that he doesn't want no girlfriend before marriage. He was a God-fearing, loving, kind, nice individual.
Okay.
Yeah, and I want to tell the family that they lost a good soul. My second contribution, Shelton, is that there are times I would assist young people in maybe in filling out forms to get a little police record to try to get their life, back on track. Because I'm the kind of person that I believe that I'm alive, and in any way or the other I can assist somebody. Once it is the right way, I would do that. But Shelton, what I experience with people in their 30s, when they are seeking police records, maybe some of them might have committed themselves in their teens, 16, 15, and you find, Shelton, that these people are in their 30s, and these summary offenses records are still hanging over their necks. And to me, I find the board should deal with these things expeditiously, because Shelton, everybody deserves a chance in life. You cannot tell me somebody commit themselves when they were 15 or 16, or 17 in their teens, and that person 32, 33, 34 years looking for a job, and you have that summary criminal record over their head, so denying them of an opportunity to work. And I experience there are few persons, there are people who are experiencing that situation. And I can recall quite vividly that the Prime Minister said that it is time to expunge. I don't know if I'm using the right term.
Yes.
Expunge the records of summary offenses. People who commit themselves when they were teenagers. Even if they're in their 30s now, it is time to take these things off their record. We cannot be a brutal society. We have to be a forgiving society to give people a second chance. And my last contribution, Shelton, is about the Prime Minister. I want to say to the Prime Minister, as a citizen of this country, I am proud of you as a leader, my brother. Philippe J. Honorable Philippe J. I find as a citizen, the way that you have led this country on the local stage, on the regional stage, and on the international stage, you have done so with dignity. You are a dignified human being. I want to say to you that the country St. Lucia, the people made a right decision in putting you as the leader of this country. And in 3 years, I find that you have done a lot for this country. I may not have been the beneficiary personal in many different things, but on the whole, Philippe J. Pierre and your administration, in 3 years, y'all have done a very good job. And I want to say to you, Philippe J. Pierre, that I like your personality. I like your temperament as a leader. Even when you were threatened by that guy, you still carried yourself with dignity. You have been crucified, but you make sure you treat St. Lucians with dignity. You never call nobody backing dogs or jackass. Even when people say all sorts of evil against you, you walk with your head up high. And as a citizen of this country, my brother, I am proud to have you as a leader of my country. Thank you very much.
Before you leave, can I ask you something?
Yeah, my brother.
As we are looking at 3 years since the SLP's massive electoral victory, can you tell me in those 3 years, 2 or at most 3 things that stand out in your mind most as achievements that you are happy about, that you are proud of, that, like we say, they stick in your mind?
Okay, the first one is the ultrasound, the free ultrasound of pregnant women.
Okay.
I listened to the lady, I think the administrator spoke on Jaime Anyali this morning, and she said that 1,500 women have come so far for ultrasound, and it's very important. She said that can detect early deformity, and nurses and doctors can treat that. So that is a very good thing. The next thing that stands out for me, as to what the government did, is the youth economy, where many young people have the opportunity to be their own boss, to be their, to take them out in a different form and empower them. Youth economy. The next thing that stands out to me is the football thing, where you're getting paid to play football. The semi-professional league. These things, there are many more that I can mention, but these three stand out to me. The semi-professional league, where you're getting money to go and train. You are getting money to play a sport that you love. So these 3 things stand out to me, and I am going to be one of them that is going to work for progress when that date comes.
Okay, all right, okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, my brother. Thank you very much also.
All right, then. 487-9849 and 4533911. We have another call on the line. Hi, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. How do you do, sir?
Yes, how are you?
Not bad, not bad. I have never in my life voted for UWP, but this time I feel I should vote for UWP. Philippe J. Pierre has done too much within 3 years. So there I'm getting angry. I ain't seen no bubble money running up and down. I ain't seen too many jabals. So that thing ain't working for me. And that's a no-no.
Go ahead. Don't stop.
Why are you laughing, Sheldon? I have given I gave my opinion.
No, that's
Why are you laughing?
Yeah, go ahead.
I ain't seen too much bubble money siphoning. I ain't seen one man have 3, 4, 5, 6 jobs, like a woman said. Since Labour came into power, Jabal has lost the links. So I support that. Man, I'm so proud of Philip J. Pierre, and I have one thing to say, and one message to send to the killers. You who keep shooting people in this country and terrorizing everybody, because nobody knows who is next, while you know who is your next target. I have one thing to say to you. Your day will come and you will die the very same way too. And just as you left these people and their family crying, and to go spend what they don't have to bury their loved ones, your day will come too. I want the Prime Minister to think hard. These people that have been caught with illegal firearms, don't give them any bail. Don't grant them bail. If you have to, it's better you put them under house arrest so they can't go nowhere. Nowhere. You put them under house arrest and leave them there. Because when you grant a man who has blood on his hands bail, Sheldon, that man knows whether has a gun that is pregnant. When is she giving birth? At what point these children are gonna be ready to pow pow? When you take his from him and you make him pay a fine and he's out, what you believe is he does not know where to go get another one. That guy they said that got shot on Saturday or whatever, wasn't that guy one of those that they picked up for illegal firearm?
That's right.
And I was told they found him with pregnant ones.
Yeah, they found the 40 caliber and a spent shell, so they don't even know if it's not somebody from in the vehicle who was with him who shot him, you know. Yeah.
Well, you know what happened? You either, when you catch these guys, you either put them at their home that they can't go under house arrest.
Yeah.
But the idea of bailing them, I really don't support that, because really, he come back and start all over again. You know when you go get another one.
Yeah. Anyway, we are getting another call, so wrap up here.
Have a good day.
Thank you very much. Yes. Hi, caller. Good afternoon. The Real Issues. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Shelton.
Hi. Good afternoon to you.
How do you do?
I'm doing okay. I'll do even better when you tell me about, the 3 things that stand out most in your mind as accomplishments or achievements of this Labour government in the 3 years since it returned to office with such a commanding majority.
Shelton, I don't know why Gasper was in my brain, but one of the first things that stand out for me, right, is that free ultrasound for pregnant women. Shelton, I know what it's like to be unable to afford doing an ultrasound. I know what it's like. I'll give you an example very shortly. It isn't like I was going to do it anyway, even though it was free, because the reason I didn't do it is because of the word that was said to me. But during my pregnancy, which eventually became a delivery of triplets, when the nurse said that she was hearing 3 heartbeats, that alone scared me, and so they wanted to confirm whether I was pregnant with twins or a single child. And just the fact that they mentioned twins, and I know I have the Mizzy twins in my family, I never did the ultrasound. And thankfully I didn't do the ultrasound. But now women can go and get ultrasounds done freely, pregnant women. This is critical. The other thing...
You think I should go and get... You think I should go and get one to see what I'm carrying?
Shelton, I would not advise you to do it. You might be pregnant with twins. You know you are ready. We don't want you to offload it anywhere.
You know what my twins' name will be? Shelly and Bailey, right?
You see you?
I thought that name would have catch on and more people would have. You know, people just ignore me for one day. A couple of people call me Shelly Bailey and they forget about the thing. I was looking forward to that being my new name, you know.
I have not heard that one.
You all just ignore the thing. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, because, some things are better left unstudied. Right? Shelton, the other thing is the housing program, the housing, oh my God, just restoring people's houses, okay? For example, the 2 or 3 men in Denver there, when everybody else was complaining or they had to go to the Daito to sleep, now they got a house and then it became a problem. But there's so many beneficiaries of that program. So many beneficiaries. And people are singing the praises of the government because they could not afford it. And when you direct somebody to these programs, people who complain about not being able to, and then they ask about it and then you direct them to it, me specifically, when they meet me and they tell me that they got through, and then you have the pensioners, the increase for the pensioners, Shelton. You had pensioners not getting enough money and now they have a further $300 or $400 or even $200 more on what they were getting. Shelton, that is critical.
Okay.
That is critical because it is touching their lives. And the 80-year-old, the ones who can go now and get treated at any wellness center or any Shelton, you see Mr. Pierre? Mr. Pierre is blessed beyond words. He talks about it, it makes a hit. He wears it, it's a hit. Do you know, Shelton, the music people that now wearing crazy socks? People are proudly exposing their crazy socks simply because somebody tried to make fun of Mr. Pierre's socks, and everybody now wearing crazy socks. Yeah. Isn't Mr. Pierre blessed?
You know what I find? Of course he is, and all his ministers too. They make promises and they keep them. It's a continuous stream of promise made, promise kept, and even things they did not promise. So they are over-delivering, you know. And this is why I say, this Labour government has done so much and is doing so much. Your mind cannot keep track of it. You get in a 2D sma, just trying to think of all the things that they are doing. And that is why
people need a whole communications department to handle the successes of the last 3 years. But Shelton, very importantly, can you imagine, Kodimir, had Alan Shasney have any sight, let alone foresight, to have continued St. Jude, continued the administrative center in Beaufort, not given Teowaking our land, and make the lands over there very prime agricultural lands, and continued the proposed development for farmers, okay, those with animals, to have gotten spots they were going into goat herding. Had he only continued that, do you know how much St. Lucians would have loved him? And not the fake love he get, you know? They would have truly loved him, would have been a superstar just like Mr. Pierre. You know what I'm talking about? But he chose not to do that. He wanted to punish us for giving him power. And we will punish him and not give him any more power. But this week is victoriously Victory Week, and we want to protect the victory. We want to protect this victory and the other 2 victories in the foreground. So, Shelton, it was nice chatting with you. I love your blue. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Cornelius. 487-9849 and 4533911. We have someone else on the line. Hi. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Shelton.
Hey, what's up?
How are you doing?
I'm okay. You know, you see this program? You see this program?
What's
I think
that?
I'm going to close this program, because too many calls coming. I can't cope with them now. They too much of... What's up, program, sir? I'm going to Femi program, sir. Naidi McDowell and Femi program now.
But let me address you the right way. Good afternoon, the Honorable Senator.
Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to you, Reverend Deacon.
Sheldon, there is this reporter on ABC called John Quinones. He has a program called What Would You Do? But it's a recorded one, and looking at where people do wrong things, and you in the presence will find out you'll find out what would you do if you are in the vicinity of what's going on. Sheldon, I cannot play that game with you in the sense that it could be videoed, but I will ask you the question though. What would you do? Yes, sir, if somebody, if you put out a topic that you're going to discuss on your, let's say, real issues, and then somebody who does not, you do not agree with or always don't agree with, but the person decides to put up a response to your post of something positive, would you allow anybody to come and show that aggressiveness, cursing out the person with the on their mother? The person don't even know you, but would you allow that to happen?
I'm not allowing you to do it live on the air, like calling my program now as you are doing, and under my page and so on, I reserve the right to moderate what is put there. And people who want to come there and troll me and troll other people and so on, just basically to essentially create a sort of a mayhem and so on in the chat and so on, like they become what we used to call when we were growing up a gatted bun. I reserve the right to kick you out of there or to block you.
Okay, good. So yesterday afternoon, I saw a post on Facebook that says, Labour Party, SLP in government, 3 years and what? So I responded to the post and said, 3 years, so much has been done. Another individual came and asked me, what has been done? I said, well, there is so much, out of my mind, I can't really recall so much, because there is so much that have been done. But the individual came and she responded again and said, I asked her, can you give me 1 or 2 of what your leader did while she was in government for the 3 years? She said to me, well, you don't want to answer me, how am I going to answer you? I said, okay, no problem. Sheldon, I went on to list 16 of the things that the Labour Party has done. I know there is plenty more, but I said to her, look, here are a few, and I gave her 16. Sheldon, now I know the pulse of the anger that people have in St. Lucia. A man came from nowhere, Shelton. The man tell me the color of my mother's inside. The man tell me what's inside of my mother. The man tell me, if you go on the post, it is still there right now.
As they say,
guess who's running the post? And I tell you, if you go there and you know who owns the post? Garfield Oliver, the pastor.
Yeah, well, this is someone.
Sheldon, the gentleman pretend he ain't see nothing. Yeah. He ain't see the person insulted me. He's pretend he did not remove it. He did not make a comment. And you know what he did? And I know he did. And I know he saw it. You know what he did? My response. He took my response, Shelton, in the night when he had his show. Okay? He left it for the last bit. The last bit. I am not telling the gentleman what to do on his show. But your program, your post was you are going to discuss what happened in the SLP 3 years. Shelton, the gentleman waited until the last 2 minutes of his show. He pulled up my response and he said, a hack. And SLP hack, Bernard Haynes. Look, he list something. Let's go and see what he did. And that was it. All he said was, that was good. That was good. Oh, that was good. And then show closed. You mean to tell me the same way you saw my response?
You are a biblically oriented man. Don't tell me you have forgotten what it was said that by their fruits you will know them.
Well, let me, and Sheldon, without cutting it short, this is why, you see me, when people quote the Bible and tell me don't judge, I tell them, I have already told them, and that I maintain that. I have a right to judge you. By your fruits, I will know you.
Yeah.
That is how I can judge you. That is how you can tell me that I'm wrong. What I'm doing is not right. What I'm doing is not the right thing, and I should change my ways. I will not condemn you. I will not send you to hell or heaven because I do not have a heaven or hell to put you. Condemnation and judgment is two different things. But I have a right to judge you. By your fruits, I shall know you. And what this man did there yesterday, By your fruits, I will know you. You're a violent man. As far as I'm concerned, that's a party supporter of yours. That's how UWP act with all what they have done. UWP is a violent set of people.
Yeah. We have to go for a break now, Bernard, but let me tell you something before. I want you on the line when I say that. Haven't you noticed there are some people, they have set themselves up as being authorities of accountability. They want to hold people to account and hold people accountable, right? You wonder where they get the authority and they get the standing and so on to be the ones to be holding, you know, where that thing, I'm holding people accountable. You have a problem with me holding people accountable. Okay, you want to hold people accountable? Judgment begins at the house of God, doesn't it? Isn't that what the Bible says?
Exactly.
You know, and if it does, where shall the ungodly, you know, and the sinner appear and so on? But I don't want to use the Bible. We don't need it for that. How can you want to come and hold people accountable? Conveniently, it's always people of the Labour Party. But there is a deafening silence on the questions that are being asked about £2,000 sterling per night.
2,000, and that is my thing, Shelton.
You know?
You cannot up to now just say, okay. You don't have to come and defend Alan. But tell me, you know what? I don't think that was right. That was the country's finance. You know, or the land given to T.R. King. You don't have to tell me it was right or wrong, but you know what? Maybe that was a misjudgment. Maybe why have the government not looked into it? Maybe, you know, you can discuss it. But just to outrightly stay silent on these issues, my friend, you are an encourager, you are part of it. And judgment comes on you because you are carrying a show. And if Shelton is carrying a show and he's staying silent, very silent, definitely silent on the things of labor, the wrongdoing that labor is doing, the wrong things that maybe Mr. Pierre is doing, and he's not speaking about it, Shelton is just as guilty as them.
Right. So they always want to hold you to account. But there's a deafening silence on those damning revelations with proof that Richard Frederick brought out about how rent was being given to the family of someone who was heading the government at the time in enterprises of real estate or realtors or whatever we call it, that the prime minister, the head of government, was a beneficial shareholder in it, a significant shareholder. You're not hearing answers to those things at all. But they want to hold everybody to account. The other thing that they want to do, I am not pretending that I have a finger or even an understanding on every issue. You know, there are some issues that Shelton Daniel, you know, will focus more on. They more up his alley, they more up his experience and so on in public affairs. It's not every single button that I'm going to have my finger upon. But they want you to follow things that are their little pet peeves. You understand? So they will not do things, but things like Ronald Phillip and allegations, you know. Up to now, we have not seen what is the report, what is the thing that has been made against the man and so on. They want you to follow those things because they represent their personal pet peeves. So they think that they have the right to direct you and to herd you and to push you down alleys that they, you know, basically have corralled and commandeered and so on. Nobody is going to tell me what issues that I'm going to take off, what I consider to be real issues. You have a right to highlight your issues, but I ain't pretending that I go in after every little thing that I have to pursue it and so on because you think that it is worthy while you conveniently. Remember the time when all those scandals were breaking about Baldus Raymond? How many of the people, including the feminists and those who care about women and all of those things, had anything to say about the interactions of a government minister, a married government minister, a Christian declared, self-declared government minister? Why was he having those kind of interactions and exchanges with women so much younger than him and who were still at school? It became something even further when they found, you know, woman whining on minister and minister seeming to be okay with it. And I can tell you there are other things which did not come out in the public pertaining to when that minister was a lecturer part-time, I think, at Monroe College. That another lecturer from a different political party, but of the same religious persuasion, had to call that minister and admonish him and talk to him and tell him, look, man, you cannot do those things. You are going to get yourself into trouble. Do not do those things and so on. Big man, you know, had to talk to another big man. You ain't hearing any of those kind of things. The other thing that happens too, sometimes some things come up when the person is on a different side And then next thing you know, those things disappear. Some things were said about Dale Elliott, which even I cringed many years ago. Because I'm saying you don't have the proof on the man. The man has never been arrested for that. He's never been charged for that. You go and you lambaste him about crimes he's supposedly committed. At least when Richard Frederick said what he said, he came out with document. You understand? He had proof and so on. Right now, you're like a mouse. You aren't saying anything about it because he happens to be, it seems, on the same side with you. Nobody don't think that they can herd and corral me into their issues or what they consider to be issues. But when you see it concerns public accountability, behavior in the public space, when it concerns integrity in public life, you want to have any kind of credibility with me, show me that you're interested in those issues as well. You know, this is the thing I'm saying. Show me you're interested in them.
I know you have to go for a commercial, but here is the other two things.
Yeah.
Janine Compton, who was the victim, she was the victim of a touch and niceness by Ezekiel, came out publicly and said what happened.
Now again, I'll admonish you. You don't know for a fact that she was. She alleged.
No,
you understand?
No, she alleged, but
right.
She came out.
That's what I'm saying. I have a problem with people taking allegations as if they are proven fact. You understand? I have a problem.
Yes. No,
and whether it's Ezekiel, or whether it's Ronald Phillip, or whether it's Richard Frederick, do not take allegations and want to force it upon me as if it is proven fact. And I maintain that position for whoever it is involved. Yeah, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Pushing the Ronald Phillips thing. The victims or the alleged victims hasn't come out, but Janine came out publicly and said it was me. It was I who it happened to. I'm not saying it happened. It did not happen. I'm saying that she came out and she. People who are the people who are pushing Ronald Phillips thing. You have not heard anybody on the other side said anything. Anybody, nobody addressed the issue when Janine herself came out and said. That had happened to me.
You know when I listen the few times that people tag me or link me up or send me little clips of what Pastor Garfield says and so on, it's not somebody I pay attention to. You cannot keep your finger on every button in everything. So what I pick up about Pastor Garfield here and there is when people send me a little clip. But I look at some of the topics that a man of the cloth, supposedly, an ordained minister of the gospel of Christ, from what I'm told, the things that seem to engage and engross him and so on. And I tell myself, this reminds me of Norbert Phillip. Norbert Phillip, what's his name? Norbert Williams, the late. May he continue to rest in peace. I have no malice against him while he was alive, and I have certainly not as he's dead and gone. Norbert Williams came to St. Lucia together with somebody else, and they were pushing something called Zandoli Promotions. And they wanted to establish a sex offenders registry, and this is what they were pushing. Next thing you know, it turns out Norbert Williams is really a UWP operative, using the sex offenders registry as a kind of a, a smoke screen, for the political activism that the man was pushing on behalf of the UWP. UWP won the elections not long after. Did you ever hear anything again about establishing sex offenders registry? Never. I'm telling you, they're good at doing this kind of thing, coming to disguise what their real intent with by camouflaging it in something that has the semblance of legitimacy and genuineness about it, but it is anything but. You cannot be telling me you're gunning for this, but you're not gunning for that because it is on your side. You're staying quiet as a mouse at that time. But yet you want to come and dictate to me and impose upon me what I should be pursuing and what I should be taking up. You ain't coming and pass this piece of Eddie Square on me. Who the hell are you?
Imagine last night the man literally pushing Martinez.
Yeah.
I'm listening to Martinez, and Martinez cannot mention St. Lucia's name. He cannot say anything about St. Lucia. He cannot say anything about Amile. But Garfield is pushing Martinez to say something about St. Lucia. And I'm like, bro, you are Christian. You call yourself a godly man. And that is what you want to do?
Yeah.
Brethren, God for... But anyway, go for your thing, Shelton. I can't pay for the commercial.
We need to show ourselves as having the integrity to be even-handed, to be thorough and above board in the things that we stand for. This is The Real Issues. We take a break. When we come back, we'll have more of your calls and I'll try to read some of your messages as well.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real Issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosley Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild, the power to heal, the future of pain relief.
Live streaming has become one of the best ways to connect the funeral of a loved one with friends and family, both local and international. NBC Television will live stream your funerals on television and Facebook at a reasonable rate. With our state-of-the-art equipment, you can be assured that the quality of your funeral will be to your satisfaction. Call our office now and book your obituary and streaming with us. 758-453-7458.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The man.
Okay, everyone, thank you so very much for staying with the real issues on this Wednesday. It is the 24th of July, 2024. We are taking your calls. I know many of you have become so accustomed with the previous 724 mobile number. These days, we are on 487-9849. You can WhatsApp call us on that number, okay? 487, they can send messages on it too. But, you know, there's also the real issues WhatsApp group that you can send. Good afternoon, Miguel, who clarified that he believes Speedy is in his 40s. I'm getting some messages from people about Speedy. I also got a message which says, I think Jeremiah has the same idea for the new cemetery in Miku. And that's when I said that we need to create public facilities and so on that have both functionality and aesthetics to them. As a matter of fact, the cemetery in Antigua, all things like build a chapel in the cemetery so that if you're not a church person, but you want to have a little service right there in the cemetery, you bring the person and you can have, you know, this kind of little chapel that you can do it. I think all of that is planned for it. So this message writer is saying that they believe Honorable Jeremiah Norbert is planning that sort of concept for Miku North. So I think it's a very good idea. Etc., so that, you know, cemeteries don't become foreboding places that we, you know, the horror pictures paint something in us that is a place you go there and a vampire will grab you by your neck and this kind of thing. You know, a cemetery can be a quiet place of reflection. You go in to pay your respects and so on, to put flowers. At the same time, you know, you can sit or stand there and, you know, it's the kind of place that can make you feel like saying a quiet little prayer or whatever it is and so on. And bring back that spirit of contemplativeness and reflection and prayerfulness and quiet time and so on. That really is what funerals ought to do, you know, to cause us to have that kind of reflection on our own lives, you know, and so on. Do we have a call on the line? All right, let's take this call. Hi, good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon, Shelton.
Yes, hi, how are you doing?
Yeah, I want to talk of my experience.
Okay.
Concerning about a pastor. You see, like they come in on social media and radio station and say they want to pray for people, they want to pray for family, they can remove like spirit, evil spirit, and like which like I contact one. He tell me to give information to one of my family back home and tell them that I am the one that give the number or whatever and who calling and whatever. So and he will take it from there. Which like I do, they do exactly what I tell him. He answer the first time. Like he give a date so he can call back again to give to book an appointment. When they call, like he never answer, Shelton. He never answer. The guy put his number on another phone or he call on another number, he answer. He give the guy another day to call back. Never answer. Which like yesterday, I call from my phone directly. Twice, he don't answer. I had a calling card on my phone, I call the calling card. He answer. He tell me, oh, he's driving to go to library. So he'll send the secretary information for me so I can book an appointment. I say, okay, no problem. Last night, I call, no answer. I say, okay. So I have another phone. I put the hotspot on the other phone. So I message him. And I tell him, somebody give me your number. And I'm looking for a church to go to because I want to give God my life.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, okay, praise the Lord. Good night. And he sent all the information. Secretary, where they located and whatever. And but when I keep calling, Shelton never answers. So why they are doing them things? God, making people believe you can call them, they can pray and like do all kind of thing, and like when they call you, you never answer, you never return in the call. Why they are doing that? If you ain't doing something, just tell the public that you are not doing it. So why making people believe and calling you and you not answering? So I have a big problem with that.
Okay.
Like y'all say, y'all serving the public. Y'all serving the public. At least when people call y'all, answer or whatever. You can say something, but you seen the call. You seen the messaging. You're not saying nothing.
Okay.
And that's Pastor been doing that. Pastor been doing that.
All right. If I had known that you would have named the person and so on, I wouldn't have allowed you, because it's private communication and I have no way of knowing whether what you are saying is factual, and to put him on the spot. You've had that experience with him. I haven't. So I don't know. I can
send you the information for you to see for yourself if you want me to.
Yeah, but you know,
so
sometimes
you can know it for fact. And Shelton, them people you have to mention, because they serve in the public. You cannot be hiding away from them and like whatever. You have to put them right on the spot.
Yeah, but you see, anyway, it's done already. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, let me just tell you all folks why you find me a little bit disjointed and out of sorts because of that call and so on. I don't want people to use the program because they have somebody they've had some issue with and they want to get at them. I got a call from a gentleman. We spoke this morning. We had a conversation. Somebody put me onto somebody who's a supervisor on a road construction program, who got fired by the contractor because he questioned certain things. In other words, he wasn't happy with the way they were doing it. He felt that was what was contributing to the project going way beyond schedule, taking so long for it to be completed. And he asked some questions. And I think he even contacted who was supposed to be the consultant on that thing and said, I'm not happy with whatever it was, the words and so on. And next thing he knew, he was getting a call to the effect that he's been fired. They fired him from what he told me. And the terminal payments they had for him, they can't give it to him as yet. And he wants me to do certain things and to call certain people. And I told him, no, I can't do that. I have to be in a measured way before I do that, get more information. I don't want at the end of the day to find that I'm just being used because I'm a media person, because somebody wants to take a stab at another person who they feel has wronged them. And media people, over the years, you get to learn that. People try to use you. And we have to be careful of this kind of thing. There's something that falls squarely within the province of public affairs, and there's no such thing as privacy or not being fair to people. Once you are a public official or a public figure connected to government, parliament, the state, and so on, there's a certain level of accountability and questions that you're supposed to answer. It's supposed to be par for the cost that you have to account for those things. And I can deal with them. Not a private thing with a pastor who's not a governmental person. We have a call on the line. Hello?
Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon to you.
And how are you?
Doing great.
Je suis en commission by M. Chasney et ses élèves. Je veux savoir, c'est là pour hier qui tire nous en bas. Et c'est là pour hier qui a tiré M. Philippe J. Pierre là, comme Premier ministre, et leader nous. Et tous les autres collègues, tous les bons matins, même la prière nous a prédit pour délivrer nous bas M. Chasney. Nous avons style prédit et commander bon Dieu pour la grâce qui est M. Philippe J. Pierre et tous les autres collègues. Couvrez yo avec sang, serrez yo en bas, c'est protectez yo. Et c'est la prière qui a tiré yo là. Tirer jalousie en yeux yo. Aïe, sans yo, corruption l'idée yo, mettez l'amitié en yo pour yon alors, pour yon chebe l'ami ensemble, et tout bouton li yon amitié Philippe J. pour bay force là, et courage là, puis ça fait ça qui est nécessaire à pays, et que yon ni pour ni Philippe J. et tous les autres collègues là, viennent assis en gouvernement, avec commission.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. Now, I think we have a short video about this gentleman, Speedy. Now, it's amazing, they talk about Speedy, and when the description was coming, I said, but that makes me think of a gentleman I have seen, usually wearing black trousers, white shirt tucked in his pants, having his little folio or briefcase or whatever, or valise, how you call it, and seeming to be doing messenger duties, but walking tremendously fast. I never seen anybody's like a walk run kind of thing. And I say, boy, if ever they have this walk race or walk marathon and so on, people in the past who have done so great in it and so on, I think they'd struggle. Twatini, I think, was very good at that and so on. But he's walking, this guy is something I used to wonder about, does he have a mental health problem? Because why would somebody be walking the way? And it turns out I'm looking at a little piece of that video clip, which was done by Ted Sandiford, Ted Acid Sandiford, he calls himself, ex-teacher of my sons at St. Mary's College. Nice gentleman and so on. I'm always thankful to him for the role that he has played in their development when it comes to art and so on. And Ted Sandiford did this video clip, and we want to play it. Let's play it. We don't have much time left.
Guys, I'm about to show you an ad that I shot many years ago, but it was never released. Many of you guys know the man in the ad. This man is Gerard Sidney, affectionately known as Speedy. Gerard was diagnosed with endocarditis. Now, this is a serious heart infection. So his family was raising funds to cover the cost of his open heart surgery. My purpose for being here in my office was to shoot a video to help promote his GoFundMe venture, but I'm getting confirmation that Gerard passed away. Life is so short. He first got a stroke and he got the endocarditis, and I know many of you may be thinking, how did he get a stroke? He was walking all over the place. You don't know what's happening on the inside. All you're seeing is the exterior. All you're seeing is what's on the surface. You don't know what's going on inside. And I remember in shooting that video, he he really had a good sense of humor. Yeah, man. Rest in peace, Gerard.
I add my own rest in peace and condolences to his family, those who are left bereaved by his passing, his loved ones, his friends, and everybody who's, all whose lives he touched. Like I say, I always found him quite a spectacle about town, the speed with which, so I can understand where the name Speedy came from. When I looked at it, I said, hey, but this is the same guy. I kind of thought when the moment I heard it and so on. Let me end the program today by extending get well soon greetings to 3 of my co-workers here at MBC. Those of you who watch our lunchtime news would have seen me reading, and that's because the regular we can't take any more calls now. Matonia Ferdinand wasn't feeling too well. I hope she's better. Our administrative secretary, Verna Jalim, has been struggling with the flu, and Vern, I do hope you're feeling better as the day goes on and so on. And Lawrence Adonis, my co-worker since my days at Radio St. Lucia, and we've rejoined each other at MBC. I also understand that he's not in top shape these days. I don't know if he has seen any improvement. And so to Lawrence, Vern, and Matonia, I say to all of you, whatever the degrees or severity of your not feeling too well or not being too well at this time, that you will make a full complete recovery and do so rather quickly. That's the real issues for today. Thank you very much, Jaquan, again for another great job at the controls. And until tomorrow, same time, where we will do this again from 12:30 to 2 on Real FM Radio, MBC TV, Facebook Live, and YouTube. Shelton Daniel signing out.
The man, the voice.
Numbers for the midday draw of Wednesday, 24th July 2024 were Double Daily Grand 1, 5, 12, 13. Big 4, 6, 3, 7, 9. The Big 4 multi-X drawn is FP. Pick 2, 3, 7. The Pick 2 multi-X drawn is 2X. 1 off, 9, 6, 0. Lucky 3, 2, 8, 5. The Lucky 3 multi-X drawn is 2X.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues.